Atlantic, run an ocean web from the Arctic Circle to the Mediterranean, in which to trap the Sea Raider and avenge the sinking of HMS Hood. And now the only pictures actually taken during the engagement. This portion of our picture is an enlargement from a small film taken from one of our ships and shows the last of Bismarck's shells bursting before she sank. But the fact remains, the Bismarck was sent to the bottom, 100 or so survivors being picked up out of her total complement of about 2,000. The remnant which go to an internment camp may now ruminate on the fact that the 35,000-ton pride of Hitler was only on the high seas for a week when she met her doom. Speedy and sure was the vengeance taken by our men. And in the characteristically modest manner of heroes, a few of the officers and men who took part tell their story.
I need hardly say that we are very pleased in the Rodney to get this opportunity of engaging the enemy after having to wait for so many months. Well, it was just nice up there, sitting down here watching things go. It was a fine-looking ship, but we just couldn't take it. We in the Norfolk are very glad and very proud to be in the fray from start to finish, the only ship in the fleet to have done so. I sighted her on the port bow, and she immediately loosed off at us. My feelings were pretty mixed for a few seconds until I saw the bit drop about 40 or 50 yards away from the ship's side. And I realized then that although we beat Bismarck, we were quite unmarked.
And with that, I'm all out of time for tonight. Hopefully you learned something interesting to take with you into tomorrow. Until then, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Truth Social at Tipping Point OAN, or on my personal account, Nefertari_25. If you like the show, please send us feedback at tippingpoint@oann.com. And make sure to subscribe to OAN Live and to download the app for iOS, Android, Apple TV, and other devices. To watch Tipping Point wherever you go. And OAN Live features video on demand, so you never have to miss the show. So as always, thank you, and have a great night.
All the catty witch brood lies that Trump accuses women, he's unhinged, he's unstable, all out the window after CNN's town hall this week.
Please welcome the frontrunner for the Republican nomination for President, Donald Trump.
And watching Trump decimate Catty Collins and minimize her to a tantrum-throwing sorority girl was the cherry on top.
I'm very proud of that video. I didn't have a script. I don't need scripts like a certain person that's in there right now.
The video, it came out much later after they had already attacked
It was a great video.
What do you say to voters who say it disqualifies you from being president?
Well, there aren't too many of them because my poll numbers just came out. They went up.
Will you commit to accepting the results of the election regardless of the outcome?
You want me to answer it again? If I think it's an honest election, I would be honored to. And right now, we are so far ahead of both Democrat and Republican. And you know what? If I don't win, this country is going to be in big trouble. It's so sad to see what's happening.
But no commitment there on accepting the results regardless of the outcome.
If it's an honest election, correct.
Okay, so not committing to accepting the 2020 election results or acknowledging what happened in 2020.
Just look at the responses from the big three, the liberal media, Team DeSantis, and Team Biden. Liberal media had a royal meltdown, screeching about how the apocalypse was on the horizon simply because Trump was given a platform.
Mr. Trump's first lie was told just seconds into the night with his false failure claim that the 2020 election was, quote, a rigged election. And the falsehoods kept coming fast and furious.
A major tell. They know this was a home run for the 45th president. Team DeSantis' 2024 dreams have been royally flushed as they seriously consider their timing. And Team Biden are like collective druggies scrambling to find the next pharmaceutical cocktail to help their candidate keep up. If Trump can neutralize
Vintage
all that in 1 hour,
lady.
imagine what he could do to our nation's enemies. Trump destroyed legacy media this week in that he didn't take their bait. CNN's mission was simple: pick their most unctuous talking cutout and get her to push Trump's buttons. CNN needed Trump to be America's evil ex-husband. He needed to be the unhinged, unstable monster the media had been warning everyone about. It turns out Trump only made CNN and its fragile fanboys look unhinged and unstable. Just watch as Caitlin Collins throws everything at Trump.
Mr. President, back to what you just said there, though, it was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election? When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home? This was a jury of 9 people who found you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women from voting for you? I'm going to stop you right there, then, because the Presidential Records Act, which is not well known to a lot of people, I read it. It does not say that you can take documents with you. It says actually that they are the property of the federal government.
It says you talk, you negotiate, you make a deal.
Caitlin wasted her ammo, and Trump didn't flinch. In fact, Trump proceeded to maul each and every one of these narratives.
The difference is that you waited to turn yours over, and it was a year-and-a-half effort that included a subpoena with those documents. One question about what happened when you had those
on
documents.
my house. That's what it included.
But
They didn't raid.
you'd gotten a
They didn't
subpoena, and
raid
they've not
Biden's
been
house.
turned over yet.
They didn't raid Biden's house. You know what happened? They put him in the house. That's the one with the Corvette, where the documents were laying all over the floor. That was fine. And you know who happens to be at Mar-a-Lago? Secret Service, and they're phenomenal. I have Secret Service. He didn't have Secret Service. The other thing, the Vice President cannot declassify. He didn't have the right to declassify. He has documents from when he was a senator.
Mr. President, can I just follow up on that, because that's a really important
Excuse me,
statement
let me
that you
just
just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. The other side, under Roe v. Wade and other things, the other side, they're radical because they will. Remember the debate with Hillary Clinton? They said, rip the baby out of the womb at the end of the 9th month.
By the end of the night, Caitlin was stomping her feet red in the face. Meanwhile, Trump spoke to the American voter. While Caitlin couldn't take her eyes off Trump, Trump didn't even give Caitlin eye contact, a symbolic gesture to all legacy media. He showed he could calmly lay out the facts under constant heel nipping from the jackals. By morning, CNN was suffering from a nasty Trump hangover. On the one hand, they had never seen as many viewers. CNN primetime ratings fell 61% in March. The town hall was an explosion. It showed them, yet again, more Trump equals more viewers, and more viewers equals good business. CNN President Chris Licht, who had been steering the ship from its sea of liberal lunacy, reportedly said this in the morning call after the event, quote, "I absolutely unequivocally believe America was served very well by what we did last night. If someone was going to ask tough questions and have that messy conversation, it damn well should be on CNN." His employees didn't agree, but Anderson Cooper, in his Thursday night monologue, seemed a little more realistic. Cooper surrendered.
The man you were so disturbed to see and hear from last night, that man is the front runner for the Republican nomination for president. And according to polling, no other Republican is even close. That man you were so upset to hear from last night, he may be president of the United States in less than 2 years. And that audience that upset you, that's a sampling of about half the country. They are your family members, your neighbors, and they are voting. And many said they're voting for him. Now, maybe you haven't been paying attention to him since he left office. Maybe you've been enjoying not hearing from him, thinking it can't happen again. Some investigation is going to stop him. Well, it hasn't so far. But do you think staying in your silo and only listening to people you agree with is going to make that person go away? If we all only listen to those we agree with, it may actually do the opposite. If lies are allowed to go unchecked, as imperfect as our ability to check them is on a stage in real time, those lies continue and those lies spread.
MSNBC chose the way of the ostrich, burying their tiny heads in the sands of oblivion. We're not going to analyze the former president repeating lies and smears. We've seen it all before. The question tonight is how are news organizations going to cover Trump if he wins the nomination? To cover or not to cover, that is the question. Trump has again outplayed them all. Legacy media is faced with a catch-22. If they cover Trump and he performs like this consistently, it's game over for their party. If they don't cover him, goodbye Trump ratings. No Trump bump for you, but we all know they can't resist. They will cover Trump. Trump also destroyed a good portion of DeSantis' 2024 hopes on that stage. Trump did this by demonstrating a devastating contrast. Trump is spontaneous and good on his feet. DeSantis, not so much. The only thing the right is thinking in the Trump-DeSantis debate is hoping Ron's comms department doesn't blow it for the best governor in the union, and that the rest of his team and donors don't force a true rising star into a black hole. DeSantis' PAC put out this tweet in response to Trump's town hall. It sounds like it was written by Katie Collins herself and endorsed by a drooling Biden. DeSantis is down 30 points in every poll behind Trump. This town hall has given DeSantis an opportunity to save face and not announce. He should take it. DeSantis is a Harvard-trained lawyer who served with Navy SEALs in Fallujah in 2006 and 2007, member of the Freedom Caucus, an executive leader, a fighter. His time will come, but it's not now. And the Biden jackals, naturally, they howled at the great success that CNN's town hall was for Team Biden. They gleefully told Politico they would have weeks' worth of damning content with which to raise money and bludgeon the MAGA movement.
January 6th was the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and they were there proud. They were there with love in their heart.
This is Team Biden continuing their painfully obvious strategy of making this race about Trump the man, not Trump the mission. The last thing they want to do is talk about the issues. They know they can't compete with Make America Great Again. But Trump's biggest asset is that he always remains true to himself and loyal to the American people. And that's what you saw Wednesday in New Hampshire. The genius of Trump's success is no cosmic secret. He shows up, he fights, and in the authentic bluntness of his mission, he wins. This is the simplicity Trump's enemies despise. And that's why Biden is destined to fail. Up next, this week we saw a glimpse of the big money and the big powers fueling the jackals. Tara Reid is calling them out. We'll be right back.
Okay, pretty lady.